Facebook, but get on Instagram now, and you should
I
see
am.
that I'm live. And then you request to join me, and then I'll add you.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
waiting. I don't see you.
You probably have to refresh.
Hold on. Let me see. Let me go to your page.
Mm-hmm.
You don't say that you live. Oh, here
You
we go. All right.
How to give. What's up? What's up? Okay. Oh, there we go. View request. Okay. I was gonna say turn that all the way down so we don't hear that. Okay, there we go. Going live with my cousin, y'all. What's up? Hi. Hi. Okay. The topic. There you are. Okay, let me write the topic. Oh, you're gonna have to flip your camera, cousin, and turn the volume all the way down.
Oh, I thought it was down. Oh.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna turn the volume down.
What, this way?
Let me see. Nope. You sideways.
Oh, and it would be like, oh, you want it to be straight.
There you go. There you go. Okay. Yep. You gotta see your face. We just getting my cousin situated here live on Instagram. We are also live on Facebook. Today's topic is how to give love and loyalty more to you.
I want it muted all the way.
And less to him. You talking about on your phone?
Yeah.
I can't hear it now, so you're fine. I just
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we good. On Instagram, can you hear me on Instagram? Can you just type, I hear you in the chat? Because I want to make sure I'm doing something new. I'm trying to go live on all my platforms. Right now I'm live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. And so we got a computer going and of course the phone. So I just want to make sure that you can hear me. So on Facebook, can you type, I can hear you, as well as on Instagram? Yes. Okay, there we go. She said she can hear. Okay, that's where we go. Oh, what's up, girl? Let me take this man out. Okay, so welcome to Single You, the podcast. Okay, she said no echo. Okay, yes, perfect. See, I'm smart. I'm in radio. My major was TV production at 𝘊𝘬𝘳𝘊𝘬𝘢 Howard University. I know how this works. Okay.
Howard University.
You said what about Howard? What you guys say about Howard? What? Can you hear me, DJ?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, I said, what'd you say about Howard?
No, I just said the Howard University, the real HU.
Exactly. Okay, so here we go. So in the next 45 minutes or so, you are going to be basically a fly on the wall to the conversation that me and my cousin here, DJ, have all the time. It's funny how life works, because I feel like DJ and I, like 6 months apart in the same year, we're going through it in relationships. And we helped each other. I know you say I helped you a lot, DJ, but you helped me as well. And just being that male voice that could give me and guide me and give me good advice through the lens of a male who was also healing. And not this drama ensued ghetto-ness that is out on these internet streets when it comes to relationships. And I'm speaking of DaniLeigh and DaBaby specifically right now. We're going to get to that. But anyway, so we went through our healing process pretty much at the same time. And I just want to congratulate you, especially as a Black man. The growth that you have had has been crazy. So anyway, thanks for being on my platform, cousin. This is DJ, everybody. Thank you. You ready? You ready to have this conversation?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. I think there's a little bit of an echo, but you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not an echo. Sorry, a delay. That's what I meant to say. I think there's a little bit of a delay. Okay. So the first conversation that we are going to have about this whole love and loyalty thing, let's do the setup. So I want you to describe what love means to you. Just so in this conversation, when you're listening to myself and DJ talk, you know through what lens we are speaking of. Okay. So what does love mean to you? And then we'll go into loyalty.
And it's very simple for me. Love is a generous interpretation of other people's behavior.
You said a generous. Wait, go
Yeah.
into that. I don't think I've ever heard you say that. Talk about that. What does that mean?
Well, it's just basically, love is like well, it's a couple of different things here. So, like for example, we both know Tamara, so I'll shout out Tamara. One thing she said is like, cultivation. And love is not some like magical thing that's just like, I'm in love. You just know. It's like, no, you have to cultivate it. It's just like a flower. You know what I'm saying? The flower gonna die if you don't water it, you don't take care of it, you don't give it sunlight, whatever. And love is the same way. It's like you have to water it every day. Like, and even you told me, like, you have to choose it, man. Like, you have to be committed to that. And to me also love is like I said, it's a generous interpretation. Like, you might see a loved one, and it could be anybody. It doesn't have to be like a romantic relationship. It could be family. It could be like, for example, I give a perfect, like my son, you know what I'm saying? Some of his behavior, if it was like a random person on the street, I might slap the shit out of him. You know what I'm saying? But because he's my son, and I'm going to interpret that behavior in a way that it's like, okay, this isn't about like he's not doing this to me. This is just him, maybe he's acting out, maybe there's some other things going on with him. And so I'm going to interpret this in a generous way to say, you know what, he's not directing whatever he's going through or what he's doing towards me. Let's get to the bottom of this. You know what I'm saying? Let me interpret this in a different way and let's have a conversation about it.
Right. It's not on purpose. Okay, 1 second, because I am being told that there is an echo on your end. Can you go into your settings and turn your volume all the way down on your phone?
Let me see.
Okay, we're just trying to handle. Thank you for letting me know. We're just trying to get that echo
I
handled.
don't know why it's not letting me turn this shit all the way down. Oh.
Right? It's like it doesn't want, because I feel like mine isn't either. I don't know. Maybe it's because they're like, no, you must hear yourself on Instagram. I wish I had
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I
Yeah,
had
because
my
I don't think it's
oh,
let me turn it all the way down. Yeah. Unless, hold on, let me see. How about now?
okay, I don't hear you at all. Yep, so perfect. So go
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
you're also
Okay, I got it.
yeah, and then you're gonna have to request to join again here on Instagram.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Do I have to like leave and come back or what?
Yeah, it said you already left.
Oh, hold on. Let me see something.
Okay. Good old technology.
I know, right? It's not saying nothing now. Oh, here it is. Okay.
Okay, view request, go live. And it should pull you up here. Come on, Instagram. There we go. Okay, talk.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, let me know on Instagram if there is an echo. And if there is, we just may have to end the Instagram live, but that's okay because this is Single You the Podcast live. So this episode will be up on Single You the Podcast, available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify on Thursday. But you can also hop on over to my Facebook page to watch this live right now. So, hey, Carla. Okay. So you were saying it's a generous interpretation of love, right? Is that what you were saying love was?
Yeah.
Right. And I love how you said, like, you no longer look at love as like, oh, he's doing this to me, and therefore taking it personal. Is that what you're saying? I'm trying to collect my thoughts here now that
Yeah, well, like for example, like you know, I hate to do this because I always refer to Tamara because she's like so amazing. But like one thing that she told me, and it really opened my eyes to a lot of stuff, is that a lot of what people do, it has nothing to do with you. It's their own things that they're going through. You know what I'm saying? And once you like understand that, you're more able to like connect with someone, and you're able to take like kind of like your emotions out of it, and you're able to like see them for like who they really are. And so like for me, instead I take myself out of it, like, you know, somebody might yell at you, and so initially you might be like, oh well, what did I do? This, I that. It's not about you. Let's tap into the why. Why do they feel the need to yell at you? You know what I'm saying? And then from there we can like connect and, you know, get to the bottom of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's
Doesn't.
it's like you said, it takes work, you know what I'm saying? Because it is hard. Like when somebody like says something to you, like especially like a loved one, they might say something that you don't like, or like we've had, like we talked about before, like having adult conversations, and sometimes those adult conversations aren't like good, and so you have to be able to like interpret what this person is saying and say like, you know what, this isn't a personal attack on me. They're just trying to convey their feelings or thoughts or whatever to you,
And that's the
it's
only
up to
way.
you how you choose to interpret that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, and sometimes that's the only way people know how to do it. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get out of Instagram because people are saying we still hear an echo.
Okay.
So I
All right.
am going to X because that's gonna bug me. So we just gonna end that um, from Instagram. Oh shoot, now it's gonna post it. Lord have mercy. Okay, I tried. I wanted to try something different today because there is literally no technology like there is to go live on both. So I'm using StreamYard. This is what this platform is. And you can go live on like Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at the same time, but there is no um, like no platform for you to go live on Instagram at the same time. That is going to bug me because now it just posted to my feed. I hate that. Okay.
Something that we need to figure out and make money off of
Right,
it.
right, exactly. So, okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I am gonna actually go live by myself. Guys, give me like 2 minutes to just set a live back up because I do still want to be live on Instagram. But I just won't be live with DJ on Instagram. So he'll just be on Facebook and then we'll just start pretty much all over.
Oh, you know what? Hold up. I think I might be able to do it this way. Hold up. Let's try live one more time on IG because I think I could do something. Hold on. Let me try this real quick.
Okay.
And then let's go.
Technology. We're gonna get it together though.
Yeah,
Okay.
see if I can do this. Get down all the way. Let me see. Are you still live, Rika?
Yeah, I'm live right now. Yeah. I went back to live. Okay, how to give love and loyalty to more to you and less to him. Okay, and then I see your request. Go live. What you doing? Putting your headphones on?
No, I got my headphones on, but I got my Bluetooth speaker right here, and I think I can turn that. Let me see if I can turn it. No, it won't let me.
Yeah.
No.
I can hear echo.
Never mind. Forget it.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good.
All right, I'm out.
Yeah, okay. Exit out of the live. There we go. Okay. All right. So this is, I'll just do it like I normally do, because normally I do go live here on Instagram without the guest. But I just wanted to see if I could do it. But we would probably need headphones. So I'll just remember that for next time. So anyway, all right, setting it back up. So today's topic is with my cousin DJ, who obviously is on the screen here on Facebook. So if you want to see DJ's face, you're going to have to go over to my Facebook page, link in my Instagram bio here. Okay. DJ is my cousin, and these are the conversations that we have all the time. And I think it was 2019. We were going through very similar situations, and we both went on this healing journey, which I started mine in December of 2017 when I went to Mexico by myself, and then you started yours thereafter. And the conversations that we have not ceased. Like, they just continue to go. And I'm like, yo, my cousin is so dope, especially as a Black
Yo, our
man.
text thread is hella long.
I know our text thread, yo, yo, yo. Our text thread is crazy. Even our conversation, voice notes, like we'd be busy throughout the day and would think of stuff, and like you are really good at asking me very deep questions, and I appreciate that because not a lot of people, especially not a lot of men, and I'm probably a gross generalization, but anyway, not a lot of black men have like can have deep conversations that go deeper than "dang girl, look at that ass" or whatever, and trying to hit on me. And I know you're my cousin, you wouldn't say this stuff anyway, but it is just a reminder that there are men out there who are in the process of doing this work. Okay. So you just described love, but I'm just going to ask you one more time since today's topic is about giving love and loyalty more to ourselves as women and less to him. Okay. And I'm going to tell you specifically who I'm talking to. I am talking to the professional woman who is sick and tired of giving second chances to the same man over and over again. Okay. You're tired of that and you want a different way of dating, and you need to learn how to set and keep boundaries. You're the professional woman, you got all the degrees. Okay. But over here in this lane of your love life, it's trash. So I'm going to be speaking through that lens today. I'm always speaking to women, especially women of color, especially Black women. Okay. And I just want us as Black women to have more accountability for the choices we make. And we're going to talk about DaniLeigh and DaBaby here for like 2 seconds, and then we're really going to dive deep and keep going in the conversation. But so, how to give love and loyalty more to you and less than him? Let's define through the lens of what we'll be talking about love and loyalty, like how we define it. So, give your definition of love one more time.
Oh, yeah, give me love to me is like I said, two things. One, it's not some magical like elixir or anything like that. It's something that's to be cultivated and chosen every day and committed to. Also, like I said, it's also a generous interpretation of other people's behavior.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yes. Okay. So that's what I love that you said. So love to me also is it is a choice, right? So somehow me and this man, we arrive at a place to say, we're going to now build this life together. And every day I'm going to wake up to choose to love you. And
Mhm.
also the women that I talk to, faith-based women, I'm always throwing scripture out there. I'm always talking about the principles that God left for us, that Jesus left for us to have a better
Mhm.
relationship than what we're doing right now. We are failing at this relationship thing. And so scripture even says, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast. There's another scripture that says love cast out all fear. When I was with my ex, I was afraid. And so if you're in these situations, that is not love. You think you love him because you have this, like you said, to you love, and like I said, it's a choice. It's not this like over spiritualized, over fantasized thing that just happens because I like you and you like me. Is that what you were saying as well?
Yeah, people watch too many movies, man, and they believe that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like they think it's like this fiction, like this fictional. Oh, I love you. Stop me from jumping out of a window. Like, like it doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I just as women, we are in our feelings a lot. We are emotional. Every book will tell you that about women. We are in our feelings all the time. We navigate a lot through our feelings and how we feel about something. So when you're having the butterflies and I like to say your vagina is telling you he's the one, we think
Hmm.
that is love because TV and movie Disney told us that.
Hmm.
All it's
Yep.
gonna take is he's gonna see you, stars are gonna happen, your hair's gonna blow in the wind, and then he's gonna marry you, and then you
What's
live
up?
happily ever after. Yeah, tell him.
Thanks, bro. I
Tell him.
appreciate it. All right, thanks. I appreciate it. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you good. This is live. This is this is the side effects of being live. But anyway, so we think it's this like fantasy land of we just lock eyes and then boom, Now we're in love and this relationship happens. So then
Right.
when we're in that space, which is really a lust space, we get into this thing of like, well, now I need to be loyal to you. I need to prove my loyalness to you, right? And so I'm going to stick it out and be ride or die. What does
Mm-hmm.
loyalty to you mean?
Loyalty means a couple of different things, but I want to touch on one thing is like these things like love and loyalty and stuff, they need to be defined for each individual person. Like there's no like cookie cutter or universal like this is what loyalty is and that's what it is. It's like you need to define those things for yourself and then you need to stick to those things. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, like loyalty is a bunch of different things. It's communication, it's patience, you know what I'm saying? It's, you know, being able to rely on you. You know what I'm saying? Like people look at loyalty, like this is a thing that I hate with like, and I hate to say this, but I see it a lot with like black people. Like they only focus on infidelity
Mhm,
and like physical abuse.
mhm, mhm.
And like it has to be like these things that are like right there in front, like it has to be this. I'm like, dude, there's way other more like betrayals besides somebody cheating on you. Like
Yeah,
there's loyalty, like for me, like for example, Rika, there's nobody that can come to me and tell me some shit about you, and I'm gonna just sit there and let them say it. Like, oh, Rika is this, Rika is that. There's no way that's gonna happen in front of me.
yeah,
Like, are you gonna be loyal to me if somebody's saying something behind my back and you know it's not true? You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like that's the stuff that I want to know. Like, are you gonna be there for me in my times of need when I'm like, you know, like I'm not always on. You know what I'm saying? I have times when I'm at my worst. You know what I'm saying? You know, are you gonna look at me differently because of that?
And
You
the
know?
way right, and the way that we do it now, right? Because again, the topic is love and loyalty more to you and less to him, right? And for you, obviously, to her. What we do is we have this again over spiritualized, over fantasized, underdeveloped view of love and loyalty, and we give it so freely because we think,
Hmm.
oh, I'm attracted to him, as if attraction is the only like checkpoint you need for a relationship to work. Right. Well, we listen, I'm attracted to him. He's smart. He's attracted to me. So let's work it out. So then you freely give these things to somebody who does not deserve it. Nobody deserves that from you at all until they prove, like, and it's not even about proving, it's just watching who people are. Like
Right.
now in this dating space for me, getting to know a man is like data collection. I no longer go, oh, he's fine, I'm fine, we like each other. Okay, let me just pour all my love and pour out all my love and loyalty into him because I used to like what I wrote down because I always have notes when I go live. If you watch my lives all the time, you know I'm like, let me look at my notes. Okay. I used to confuse taking care of a man you claim to love as being a good person. And if I didn't, I'd be a bad person. Like I
Right.
used to, that's how I would define loyalty. And I need to prove this to him so then he can give me this holy grail of what society I don't even know which one's the ring finger, Lord, is this one or this one. I don't know. But anyway, that's the holy grail of life. Like my value is now at the top of the world because I finally got picked because I proved my loyalty to this man. No, no. So
Right.
now what I do,
Right.
this is how I stay loyal to me until I'm
Right.
actually learned until I'm actually learned, right? And what I
Hmm.
mean by that, I feel like men tend to be like, they're drawn towards my energy. Like I'm a pretty girl and they want to have sex with me. Rarely do I ever interact with men that actually want to explore and dive into the depths of me and who I actually am. Do you see what I'm saying? Like actually getting to know Rika, like who is Rika outside of your favorite color is blue, outside of your radio personality, outside of you, this girl with this fat butt. Like outside of that, who is Rika? Go ahead.
You know what though, Rika? I'm gonna tell you this. Like women say that they want that, but when they get it, it's intimidating. I've had women be like, "Oh man, you know, I wanted a guy that you know talked about you know deep stuff and had things to say that of substance and things like that." And then when I was giving them that conversation, they were like, "Oh, I wasn't ready for this. I wasn't like this is kind of intimidating. Like oh, like you're really talking about some like some deep stuff. Like I mean, even now in the relationship I'm in now, like sometimes she's like." Why you always gotta go deep? Why you always want to go deep? but for me, like that deepness is where that connection comes. You know what I'm saying? That's when I feel the most like connected to my partner, when get to like really understand who you are as a person, why you think this way, why you feel that way, why you lashed out at me. Oh, I lashed out at you because when I was a kid, this happened and da 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 da, and then da da da. It's like, oh, okay, now I can understand where you're coming from. Now I can empathize with you. But if you don't tell me anything, I can't empathize. Like I
100%.
need to be able to put myself in your shoes and see. Like I don't have to agree, but I can at least understand where you're coming from. You know what I'm saying?
Let me just say, talk your ish, cousin. Listen, for the woman who is on her healing journey, she will not find that as intimidating. Just like, remember, I told you, and now, because part of my journey and healing and making and keeping myself accountable to the things that I say that I want. Remember, I told you I promised myself that now when I'm dating, my close circle will know. So you be knowing about all the dudes. I'll be like, guess who I met? This is what he said. And what do you think about this? Da, da, da. But I am running up against now a lot of men who are intimidated by me. And not
Yeah.
even now. I always used to, I've always, 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 always dated men where my mere presence intimidated them because they were very insecure. But those were red flags that I passed up. And then later, 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, 2 years down the line, being abused. Because as TD Jake says, I never met a man that liked himself that beat his wife. So even though it may not be physical hitting, the emotional scars that I got from men who were very insecure by me, they took a toll. But now that I'm in this healing space, when I know that I intimidate you, I walk. I don't have time. I don't have time to pull you up to my level. I'm no longer
Right.
going to now give you all of this love and all of this loyalty so you can rise to the occasion of the man that I have in my mind.
Right. Right.
For who you are. I take you for who you are. And then if again, because to me, dating is data collecting. So I'm no longer going to sit around and do this tap dancing for you. Like, no, because I used to feel sorry for men. Like, oh no, I'm not that like dimming my light. Like, I'm not that dope. Like, this is fine. Like, we'll be good together, and doing things like that. Do you go ahead? No, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's because mine was a little different in the sense that like a lot of women that I talk to, they get intimidated by and I hate saying this because I don't even think that I'm that smart, but they get intimidated by my intelligence, like my vocabulary. I know what I'm talking about. I have strong opinions on a lot of different subjects that other people may not even really be into, like politics and shit like that. And so when I've had situations where I'm like, oh, you're so smart. And I'd be like, oh, I'm not that smart. But now it's like, I'm not doing that shit no more. Yeah, I am smart.
Yes. And and again, it's when you're healed and you're in this space of knowing exactly who you are. And let me just say this, when I say healed, I don't mean that we're perfect, me or DJ.
Right.
It is always a journey. We're always going to be on this journey because we learn new things every day about ourselves, every week, every month.
You know I'm not, but I was just crying to you like last week. I was on the phone crying, tears like a baby.
Yeah. But there is a certain point in your journey of healing where you arrive into the fullness of yourself, and you're like, I know exactly who I am. I know exactly who I am, and I am no longer going to dim my light for you. I'm sorry. I just watched Adele's conversation with Oprah, and I love what she said about her losing weight. Oprah said, it is not my job to validate you about your body. I'm sorry. I lost all this weight, and if you're mad at me, I don't know what to tell you. Because she has finally arrived at a place where you are so happy with yourself that you will no longer minimize,
Nobody else's opinion matters.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And let me ask you this, even when it does, because I feel like you told me, what did you tell me? That healing isn't about being perfect. It's a journey, and it's about bouncing back quicker than you did before. Do you remember saying that to me?
Maybe, we say stuff, I don't remember.
Right. But it kind of goes back to the I was upset about the actions that I felt that I took with this guy that I should have known better. Cause I'm like, I'm
Oh
this.
yeah. That's no. I told you what I said was that Rika, you got the tools now.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Before it was like we were kind of working at a disadvantage because we didn't have no tools. Now you got all the tools, so hey, if this happens, I know I can go here. Oh, if this
100%.
happens, I know I can go there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, I know. Hey, I'm feeling like this. Oh, you know what? I can go to my journal, write this out. I'll feel better. Hey, you know what? I'm feeling like this. Let me meditate for a second. Let me check in with myself, whatever. Now you
Yep.
got the tools to cope
Yep.
ahead. You know what I'm saying? Coping ahead. You know what I'm saying? Regulating your emotions before you even get there. You know?
100%. 100%. Because that's another thing in the journey and like arriving at the space of like really knowing yourself. You understand that your feelings are not facts. It's
Right.
that time
Exactly.
to check in. Like, let me check in
Rika.
with myself. Why do I feel this way? Blah, blah, blah. And so the bounce back, once you arrive at where I was going with that statement was sometimes, yes, people can still get to me with what they say, and their opinion matters for like 10 seconds. But then I pivot, I ask myself some questions, and I keep it moving.
Mhm.
And then I
Exactly.
automatically say, no, honey, we did all this work since 2017 to arrive at this peaceful place, and you better protect that with your life. I will
Yep.
no longer ever be in disarray and not peaceful because of somebody else's opinion for longer than a day. I'm not doing that anymore. And so again, in this journey of healing, while we're always on this journey, you do finally arrive at a place where nobody else's opinions matter.
It's
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
it's like going through the journey. Like I'm gonna just say this for me. It was like baptism by fire. You know what I'm saying? It was like it's one of the hardest things I ever had to do. You know what I'm saying? Like like when me and my ex broke up, I was like I thought I was gonna die.
Yeah.
Like I thought I was gonna
No,
fucking die.
it's
And
painful.
so
Mhm.
I was just like, dude, like this is just but the one thing I'll say, like you were saying, it's this quote by Robert Shaw, and he says, "The only way out is through." And that's what got me through it. It was two things that got me through it. It was that. It was your when you said, it's time and execution, and then it was I knew I wasn't gonna die. You know what I'm saying? I knew I wasn't gonna die. And so once you come out on the other side of that, you feel like I'm the most confident I've ever been in myself because like you said, I know who I am, I know what I've been through, and can't nobody tell me shit. Like before I would be kind of timid, like, oh well maybe I shouldn't say this, or oh maybe now I'm like, I don't give a damn. Like I don't give a damn what you think about anything. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't been on my journey, you ain't been in my shoes, you ain't been where I've been. You know what I'm saying? You ain't did this work.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So I take pleasure in knowing that can't nobody tell me shit. You can't
yeah,
tell me nothing, dude.
yeah. And again, it's this peaceful, like I feel like some people are gonna hear this, but like, oh, they're so arrogant. No, no, no. It's this peace where you
Yep.
settle into yourself and you realize, baby, I'm all of it. Like I am this dope. Go ahead.
And you know that the biggest thing for me was like it's not just knowing that I know who I am, it's knowing that I have these good things about me, I have these other flaws about me, and I can love all of it and it doesn't matter. It doesn't make me a bad person.
I'm
You
not a
know what
bad
I'm
person.
saying?
Yeah,
I'm a flawed mortal. We all are. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? And that doesn't make me a bad person. It doesn't make it's just hey, and you also start to see like these things, they also make you who you are. The flawed and the good parts, they all make you who you are.
yeah, yeah. And also knowing those flaws that we have, it doesn't mean that I get to take those out on other people. That is a
Right.
continued work, a continued battle within myself to get it right the
Mhm.
next. Okay, well, I
Right.
messed up again. Okay, let me get it right the next time. I want to talk about you and I after that the painful breakups, right? You think you're gonna die, you're in this like whirlwind. Both of you and I, we decided I'm gonna be intentional with doing this work
Mhm.
because we've heard all of the sayings before. When people show you who they are, believe them. A lot of the
Mhm.
things that we learned on the surface, we've heard the sayings,
Mhm.
When you become intentional, then you get to go deeper and actually begin to learn how to execute when people show you who they are, believe them. Begin to learn
Mhm.
how to execute, know yourself, know your worth. That's why I told you
Mhm.
it's time and execution, because time can pass and then you'll be in the same dramatic, trash, drama ensued ghetto
Yep.
relationship. Okay. And
Yep.
speaking of ghetto relationships, the story of DaniLeigh or DaniLeigh, I don't even know these artists. I mean, obviously, I know who the baby is, kind of, but they're in this drama ensued relationship cycle. And now DaniLeigh or whatever is baby mama number 2 of DaBaby. Talk about your thoughts on that relationship. Because I know you
Well, I'm
and
gonna say this. I'm gonna
go ahead.
say this. They're young. I will say this. They're young. You know what I'm saying? I think they might be in like their early 20s, mid 20s. So they're
Understood.
young. But then also, you know, I don't even know how to put this. I don't want to say nothing that's gonna make people mad, but like, you got to start looking at like the bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? And like, women get caught up in a lot of the like glitz and glam, especially when it becomes like about money. So like, you take a guy like the baby, right? He's rich. You know what I'm saying? So he may take a chick out. He may take her to Hawaii just to, screw her, as you would say. And
Yeah,
so a regular chick may think like, oh, he doing this for me. He really like me. Dude, he got money. He can do that to 10 other women. You know what
right.
I'm saying? He can do that to for 100 women. That
Yeah,
doesn't make you special. You know what I'm saying? So you have to like start really seeing things for what they are. And like you said, like, you gotta be able to differentiate between, okay, I'm horny, and you're like what's logical, because that other feeling can cloud your judgment. You know what
mhm,
I'm
yeah,
saying? And
yeah,
then you start looking at, like I said, a generous interpretation of other people's behavior. So you might start looking at things like, oh, well, he, like, or like the Summer Walker thing was like, oh, well, he's not taking care of his kids or whatever, but because he's doing these other things to you, I'm gonna interpret that as like, oh, well, it's a baby mama. She's the reason why it's this, that, and the third, or whatever. So you start telling yourself all these things to kind of like make you feel like, oh, okay, it's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? Or, oh, let me tell myself these lies so I don't see what's really going on or whatever. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And it's the same, like, you gotta like, I don't know how to put this like without. I don't like when people, you deal with someone, you have children with them, they showed you who they were, and then once y'all break up, then the person is, they lame, they wag, they a deadbeat,
mhm,
you're a loser, all this other stuff. But he wasn't a loser when you was pulling down your underwear for him, though. You
exactly.
know what I'm saying? Like, now all of a sudden he's this, that, and the third, but he wasn't doing that when it was all good just a week ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
He's now a loser because he didn't live up to the expectations you had for him, except for he never did. He never demonstrated that he had the capacity to live up to the expectations you had for him. So again, when I say we over spiritualize and over fantasize relationships because we go off of our feelings and my vagina is getting whopped, he's fine, he has money or whatever. Like, I want to even take it down a notch. Like, Black women as professional women, we're not running into necessarily DaBaby, but he is on your job. He is your coworker. You met him at the gym, and you over fantasize, over spiritualize what you want him to be to you. But he has demonstrated that he cannot be, because Dr. Phil says, I love the saying by Dr. Phil, the best way to determine somebody's future behavior is to look at their past behavior. So people like Summer Walker, DaniLeigh or Lee, whatever the heck that girl's name is, you will say to yourself, "Oh, he gonna be different with me. I'm different. I can sex better. I can cook better." For the
that shit
professional,
don't mean nothing.
right, I have more degrees. I'm smarter than his other one. Even if he doesn't have a kid, you will say this about his ex, especially if the drama was dramatic. And I want to ask you this: what evidence do you have that he will be different for you? Or is that actually just your ego?
You got to ask yourself a question when people like when OG Cat told me this too. He's like, when you meet somebody and the first thing they start doing is everything was their ex fault, ask yourself, what is your ex saying about you right now?
Okay.
She's saying the same damn thing. So
Yeah.
it's like I don't, and that's what I got caught up in my last relationship. Is she was like her ex, oh, he did this, he did that, and I ignored it like an idiot. And then once we broke up, and I was all hurt, and I started thinking, I was like, hold up, you didn't do nothing. Like everything was his fault. Like you didn't play no part in none of this. Like come on,
that part. Yeah. Yeah. Even I told you, and when I talk about my ex and my $10,000 boyfriend, I talk about the things that I did wrong in that relationship, including passing up red flags. Because when you actually are intentional about your healing, that's the first question I ask myself. How did I get here? It wasn't even about that. I didn't. I was like, okay, wait.
How did I get here? Exactly.
How did I get here? I went 100% in. So now when I'm out in these streets and this little dating pool that got pee in it, I am not going to be trashing my exes. I will tell the story. And then I will say, and these are things that I'm still working on. If we get into conversations like that, some of these men, we can't even get past like, oh, you so fine.
I was gonna say, I was like, because I hate that saying when people like the dating pool has pee in it, but so hearing some of the stories that women be telling, dudes, man, like men are a trip, man. Like,
yeah, go ahead. And I'm gonna say something. Go ahead.
Like, just like I mean, I've just heard stories of just like,
yeah,
just egregious behavior. That's what I'll say, just egregious behavior. And I'm just like, how do women even?
Right. So what I would say is, and I joke and say it has pee in it because I actually did a whole podcast episode about how I believe dating at this age is easier, and we had that conversation. It's easier now as you get older if you do the work, right? It comes with a little asterisk and caveat. So when I say that, I'm definitely joking. But for women, we have these wild stories of men. And sometimes I want to ask, okay, but where is your accountability? Again, what do your behaviors with men show you about you? Like, he treated you this way, sure, okay, and not to say that it was right, but why did you allow it? Where is your accountability, DaniLeigh? Now you have a baby, man who already has 2 kids with another woman, because you decided that this is what I wanted to be. And I'm sure, and this is what happened with my $10,000 boyfriend, because you asked me, did he really say you have it 2 together?
Yeah, I was like,
yeah. But with my $10,000 boyfriend, so this is the definition of love bombing, okay? So he was painting the fantasy for me. You were always the one since college, blah, blah, blah. And he had hit me up like every 2 years since we were 19. And then 2018, he came swimming around the pool again and sold me this fantasy while I was still in my healing process. And so I believed everything that he said just because of the words that were coming out of his mouth. Instead of, again, slowing it down and be like, okay, well, if he feels this way, let me see. But I dove head first. I dove heart first instead of head first, where the Bible talks about guarding your heart. And this is where I should have guarded. It's about having a fence, not a wall. And I should have said, okay, well, if you feel that way, you always thought I was the love of your life. Wonderful. Let's slow this down and let's see. I want to make sure that what you are saying is true. And that is okay to say. I don't have trust issues. Like, I just know now that the way that I will be dating will be a very slow process. It is not going to be this, I'm attracted to you, these sexual hormones, and let's smash. I'm not doing that no more. And wait, did you want to say something? And then I'm going to read.
No, I'm listening. No, I'm listening.
Right. Okay. So I'm not doing that anymore. I read this meme the other day that said, it is not, I'm pulling it up right now, because I was like, this is so true, right? Like, we think intimacy is all about sex.
It's not at all.
Please tell me what your version of intimacy is. Like, what do you think intimacy is? And then I'm going to read this meme if it pulls up.
like for me, intimacy is a connection with someone. It doesn't have to be I like look. I had an intimate conversation with my boxing trainer a couple weeks ago. Like
Yeah.
we had a really deep conversation. It doesn't have to be like physical touch or sexual or anything like that. It's just a deeper connection with someone where you like you get I don't want to say engrossed, but like you get to a deeper level of understanding someone. You know what I'm saying? You get a more a closeness. You know what I'm saying?
That is
Of
deeper than the physical. Like I feel like
yeah.
conversation, really understanding somebody on an emotional level is deeper actually than sex. And not to
Let
say
me
that,
tell you.
go ahead, go ahead.
It's let me tell you. Like so, for example, in my relationship, we had an issue one time where I had just got off work and I was kind of upset. I had a bad day, and so I had came over to her place and she opened the door and she felt like I just walked in the house and didn't say nothing to her. And so she got upset. She felt like she had spoken to me. I didn't speak back. It was like some other thing. So she was upset. She was outside, just like mad, not speaking to me, silent treatment, passive aggressive, whatever. And so I'm like, what's wrong? What's wrong? She's like, nah, this, that, and the third. And so finally we get to the bottom of it. And I'm not going to say what she said, but she unveiled some things to me that happened in her past that I was like, oh, so that's why you felt that way. That's why
Mhm.
that made me feel closer to her because now I felt like I had a piece of her that she revealed something to me, a vulnerable piece of her that she wouldn't just reveal to anybody else. That's intimacy to me. Like I'm about to tell you something that is scary for me. I'm about to open up to you about something that I don't open up to other people about because I'm scared, I'm afraid, whatever. I'm going to be vulnerable with you. That's intimacy to me. Like that's what being close and being connected with someone.
Oh, you know what? And I just thought of this too. Earlier, we were talking about the definition of loyalty. That's loyalty to say, okay, I am going to choose to share something with this man that I say that I love. I am upset and I'm having this feelings cycle, but I'm going to explain to him why the best that I know how.
Right.
That's loyalty because you are loyal to the relationship then because what happens is in relationships people become passive aggressive and
Mhm.
as she was at first, right? And so to me, yes, that's toxicity, that's drama. I don't want that. Yes, you can be upset and yes, you're going to get upset in relationships, but to say I am upset and I know myself so much that I can explain to you why, that's intimacy. And here's the meme that I was talking about. It says, we think we want sex. It's not always about sex. It's intimacy we want to be touched, looked at, admired, smiled at, laugh with someone, feel safe, feel like someone's really got you. That's what we crave.
Feeling safe. Feeling safe is like number one on my list. Like I need to feel comfortable, and I'm not talking safe like physically. I'm talking safe like when, like I said, like I'm in tears because I feel overwhelmed with just life and stress and all this other stuff. Can I
Yeah.
cry in front of you and you're not gonna be looking at me like, oh nigga,
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Can I open up to you about things that I'm afraid of, that I fear? Can I be vulnerable with you about things that I haven't even told family members? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Can you create that safe space for me?
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? And that reminds me of Sierra's prayer, right? So eh,
I'm so tired of that shit. I'm
listen,
tired of hearing that.
right. And I did an episode on that on single use. It was the last week's episode. So if you want to listen to
I listened to it. I listened to it.
yeah. For you listening, if you want to listen to the full episode, it's up. So I will just say this. It seems to me that a lot of Black women, we want a future to act like a Russell Wilson. We want DaBaby to act like Russell Wilson. We want Offset to act like Russell Wilson instead of going
Mhm.
for the Russell Wilson, right? And so again, the over spiritualization and over fantasizing of relationships, we think I can just pick any man, pray about it, God will make alterations and turn him into Russell Wilson. Mm-mm.
It doesn't
So
work like that.
it doesn't work like that. Everything rises and falls on character. What does his
Right.
past behavior show you about him? And has he worked on himself? If he has past behavior that's questionable, because I know you would say that about yourself, like your past behavior it wasn't the best, but you actually worked on yourself. So then when you're crying in front of this Black woman, she will look at you like a simp. What are you doing? I'm sorry, did you not just pray for Russell Wilson? I'm confused. You think Russell Wilson ain't over there crying and boo-hooing on Sierra that he just lost the game on Sunday?
Yo,
You know what I'm
look,
saying? But I
like,
like that. And I'm gonna take we out because 𝘊𝘰𝘶𝘳𝘵 Robinson does. Cry on me, please.
hey, I've gotten it all the time, Rika, like, you too sensitive, or I get the you talk white, or you weird, or you like weird stuff. Oh, yo, you got both your parents. You went to a white school. You know, like, I'm like, so I'm penalized because my parents decided to like go to work and work it out with each other and stay married.
Like, come on. Yeah, 100%. I get the same thing. You would be surprised. Oh, you wouldn't, but because I talked to you about this, DJ, but the women listening, you would be surprised how many times my two-parent household, my college background, me being a radio personality, is used against me to these men who are very insecure. But insecurity to me is not crying about something that's painful to you. That's not insecurity. Insecurity
Right.
is being intimidated by my dopeness, right? But I just want to circle back again to the intimacy thing and the sex thing. So,
Hmm.
my friend, shout out to Desiree, my best friend. We were talking about this, and I told her exact. So I sent her the meme, and I said exactly this: I will never settle with only having sexual intimacy with a guy ever again. Definitely today, Rika is looking for another level, and it has to start there before I ever have sex again. So as I've talked about on my platform, December is 3 years celibate, and so far I've stayed true to the woman I said I wanted to be. I'm obedient to future me because I know what dating men like my exes, like the babies, like the futures, in this it has gotten me nowhere. So that's the definition of insanity. And I just knew I hit a crossroad.
Hmm.
And I was like, this can't be life. And if this is relationships, I will never date again because I let go of my value being into getting this ring. I let that go.
Well, that's what I said. Like, you have to define these things for yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? What does this look like to you? Like, people always, like you say, like the Sierra prayer, I want a Russell Wilson. Well, what does a Russell Wilson look like to you?
You can,
What does that look like for you?
yeah. I know you want to say something, but I also want to say this just to go even deeper. When you're
Uh,
saying what does it look like for you, sure, right? So you say you want a Russell Wilson. So what does Russell Wilson's character look like in real life? Apply that to real life. Because I promise you, you're not going to end up dating a future if you actually can figure that out. You got to be intentional with that.
I would be complete. You don't know what's going on in Russell Wilson and Sierra's house. To be honest, you don't think
100%.
Russell Wilson is some flawed individual? You don't think that he probably in there pissing her off? You know, like to no
Right,
end. Like,
right. And that is the over fantasy, right? So
right.
like on the Adele uh conversation with Oprah, this man proposed to his girlfriend and she was like, oh my God, she was crying. It was really cute. She was like, I've been your girlfriend for so long. Apparently she was his girlfriend for 7 years. And so now women will go, oh, okay, so 7 years, I could be with a man for 7 years and then I'll finally become his wife. Let me get this ride or die mentality when you have no idea whatever heaven or hell that woman is in with that man, right? Maybe it did work
Mhm.
out for them. Maybe they started dating at 15 and that's why it's been 7 years. You have no idea. So why don't you define how you want your relationships to be? And so what I was saying about the character thing, so like women want men who are like loyal. Okay, how does that play out in real life then? Because I promise you it
What does
wouldn't be
loyal mean to you? Define loyal, because loyalty to me might be something completely different to you. That's subjective, man. You have to define it for yourself.
100%. And for me, it would not be dating somebody like DaBaby. It would because you're not even loyal to that. You weren't loyal
Right.
to the women. It didn't even end well with you guys and all of that drama.
Right.
No, thank you. Nope.
Right.
Nope. And that is again looking at your coworker, you professional woman, the men you're around all the time when you're out here in these streets dating and on these apps, and what is his character saying about him?
Right.
To collect that ish
Right.
instead of going, well, he fine, so let's just date. Let's just date.
He's
Okay, so
six
I want
three.
to so say it again.
He's 6'3", so that's all that matters.
Listen. Okay. So I do want to end on, let's have a conversation about because both you and I are at this, we've arrived at this place of knowing who we are and knowing how to execute that in real life, in real time, executing that, setting and keeping boundaries. Like, we are so peaceful. Again, yes, we're gonna have our moments. You was crying the other day. I think I cried 2 weeks ago, whatever. We're gonna have our moments. But when you arrive at this space of like blissfulness in your singleness, you are able to execute what it is you say that you want. And we talk about doing the work. So you don't have to tell me everything, but what does that mean, doing the work? What does that look like in your real life?
You gotta. I'll define it as this:
Mhm.
you got to be able to look in the mirror and say, "I don't like what I see." Can you do that? Because that shit is fucking hard. It's hard to say, you know what, this ain't it. Like, I need to change. I need to do some things differently, you know what I'm saying? And then from there, you have to map it out. Like, what does that look like for me? Again, like for me, it was, you know what, like for me, it went in stages. It was like, first I was just doing my own work, kind of talking to you, doing some reading, all this other stuff. But then I felt like I had taken myself as far as I could take myself by myself. I needed help from a professional, and that's when I reached out to Tamara. Shout out Tamara, and then we started doing that work together because people think that like I thought like, oh, okay, I just need to get over this breakup and whatever. But then once you start doing the work, you start feeling, oh, I got some stuff from my childhood. I got some stuff that happened between me and my parents, me and my sisters. I'm holding on to a lot of resentment from this, that, and the third, all these other. And so it starts revealing all these other things. You're like, holy shit, like I didn't even know this. And so once you start getting into that, then you start to understand yourself better because now you're starting to dig deeper and deeper and you're starting to peel back all these layers like an onion. And you're like, oh, okay, so this is why I was feeling that way. Oh, okay, that's why. Okay, I don't really like that right there. And so you start knowing yourself. You know your likes and your dislikes, what you're not gonna put up with. You know what your boundaries are. Like my boundaries is straight. I don't give up about what nobody think about my whole boundary is fuck you. I don't care. Like
The
it's
whole
straight up. I'm not answering the phone. I don't give a damn. If I'm tired, I'm not answering the phone. No, I'm not coming to pick you up. I don't give a damn if you my family or not. No, I'm not doing none of that. So like people always be like, well, that's your family. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I do not care.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
am so selfish. This is I, I, it's it's all about DJ. Fuck everybody else. That's how I feel. I don't care because I can't be the person I need to be if I got all this other stuff going on. Like I need to be a good father. I need to be a good boyfriend. I need to be a good employee, a coworker, all this other stuff. But if I let everybody just
Take your
walk over
time.
my boundaries and do whatever they want to me, I can't be a good person to these people that need me. I can't show up for the people that need me.
Yeah. Well,
You
you
know what I'm
can't show up
saying?
for yourself. You can't show up for
Right.
yourself if you are delegating all your time to everybody else. And so what I hear you saying is people pleasing. And so my ideal client, she's a man pleaser, right? Because it's about, let me pour all this love and loyalty into you so I can please you. So again, I can get this holy grail of happiness, of this value, because my value goes up once I have a man. So let me do all this tap dancing for you. And where does that leave you? Depleted, frustrated, and drained. And then you have to be able to, instead of like, I love what you said. People think that they just have to get over a breakup. No, baby. No,
It's
no.
much deeper. It's
It's
much,
much
much
deeper than
deeper.
that. Like I said, one of the first questions I asked myself was, how did I get here? Rika Janelle Robinson, what is happening? And I looked in the mirror, like you said, and was like, I don't like this. This is not cute on you. And we are going to undress this bit by bit, or as Will Smith would say, brick by brick. And I undressed myself and got vulnerable and deep with myself and actually saw myself for the first time as who I was, not who I was performing to be. I say
Hmm.
this all the time now. Like a lot of Black women, we will perform confidence. We in the club, and if they say, we're the independent know yourself, won't let no man walk all over you women. And all of us are going to scream. But you over
I
there, go ahead.
I posted this like months ago on my IG story. I said it's always real ass bitch don't give a fuck about a nigga until it's actually time to do that, and they can't do it. And you hear it all the time, city girl, real ass bitch, give a fuck about a nigga. But as soon as some dude is treating you like shit over and over again, you can't get rid of the motherfucker.
You don't know how to break away because
Right.
you have no idea how to break away. You know why? Well, there's a lot of reasons why, but you will never break away from a relationship like that until you get intentional with your healing. So until you arrive, so you can make fun of DaniLeigh all you want to, Summer Walker all you want to, because you're a professional woman and you would never. Yeah, I would never be somebody's fourth baby mama. Okay, well, let's look at your behaviors with men. So once you arrive at a place where you're like, I need to be intentional with discovering who I am, that is the only way you're going to heal yourself. And like DJ said, there comes a time where you cannot take yourself further. Like you can only take yourself so far because you can't really see you sometimes.
I need somebody on the outside looking in and say, hey, no, you know what? I told you I put everything in boxing analogies. Like I know how to box. I'm pretty good. But when I'm working with Jason's fine tuning the details. Hey, you need to turn your hip right here. Hey, turn your hand over right there. Hey, nope, you need to do the slip better than that. Nope, do this, do that. Like you need to start. I don't want to say like being picky about, but your therapist is going to start seeing things that you can't necessarily see because you're in the midst of it. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
You need somebody on the outside looking in.
If I didn't have coaching, I would not have known that I don't have trust issues, even though I've been cheated on by pretty much every boyfriend. I'm not the girl who's going to go through your phone. I don't care. I have do you like me issues because I wanted to be picked so bad because my mama was.
I have those too. Those too.
And by the time I was 32, I wasn't my mom and I freaked out because especially when you grow up as a faith-based woman, and the Christianity and religion push this agenda on us Black girls that you are deemed worthy once you get married and have kids because the Bible says be fruitful and multiply, and it's not good for man to be alone. So what are you doing? Oh, and then when you go to Thanksgiving that's coming up, all your older aunties who are also bitter and in marriages they don't want to be in, they always asking you where your man at. How come you haven't given us kids yet? Where is this? Where? And they make it seem as that is the only goal of life. And that is the only thing that we will celebrate. Because if you notice, after we graduate high school, for me, it was college. That was the last time my whole family was together to celebrate me and an accomplishment that I had. But I guarantee you, the moment that I'm getting married, everybody gonna want to come to that. Because
I remember my mom called me at work one time and she said, when you gonna stop running the streets and get married? And I'm like, why do you think just because I'm not married that I'm running the streets? Like, like that's just not true.
Floating in the wind and unhappiness. And the moment I get married, that's when I'll be anchored down. That is the lie straight from the pit of hell. That is not. Listen, okay, we're gonna have to end this. Listen, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I am going to let me pull this up. Because shout out to Dwayne, our cousin is watching, and he over here commenting, "Hey Kayla,
Dwayne, yeah. Hey, what's up, D? I ain't talked to you in a minute, bro."
I love you, Dwayne. Which, by the way, Dwayne has a workshop inside of Single You Academy, which I'm going to talk about here in a second. But
how Dwayne get a workshop?
I know you gonna have one too. You're gonna have one too. Okay, hold on. I just want to read. Hopefully I wrote this down because I'm going to slap myself in the face on live Facebook if I didn't write it down. Okay, yep, here it is. So if you have not watched the Will Smith interview with Oprah, you're missing out. You need to watch it if you have Apple TV.
I need to watch that. I haven't watched it yet, but I need to.
And you know the clip that I sent you, and that's the quote that I'm about to say. That conversation, the way he explained Will and Jada's relationship, I understand more now that they are more on the same page than we think they are. And actually with my homegirl C, she's a psychologist. She went to Howard with me. We're going to break down that whole dynamic of their relationship. But this is what he said. Will Smith talking to Oprah, quote, There is no person that will fill your hole. The spiritual journey is finding your joy and bliss without vampirically using others, finding that joy without medication or distractions. It's about being able to find that contentment within yourself, not with external stimuli. And then Oprah said, then when you do come together with a romantic partner, it's a whole nother level of intimacy. And
Yo,
that is what we're missing.
let me tell you something right now. Like that right there, that is, I have never ever like I don't even like, I wish I could explain like, yo, when me and my ex broke up, and like you were saying about being intentional with your healing and your journey, I didn't even want to talk to another. I didn't even want to talk to a woman for like until I started talking to Chantel. Like I didn't really have no interactions with women because I was like, I need to work on myself. I can't be dating nobody. I can't be out here having sex, doing all this other stuff because I'm a bleed on somebody else. I'm a hemorrhage on somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, like once you like mature and you start learning yourself, it's like you don't want to have that collateral damage. You don't want to just run around be hurting people for no reason. Like that stuff, it ain't cool. Like I don't believe in karma. I just like it's just not cool to be doing stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And so like for me, like I was very intentional in my growth. And from there, it was like once you know yourself and you get this confidence, you know what I'm saying? And from there, that's when like when you meet somebody like Will saying, like your happiness isn't sourced from anybody else. It's not like, oh well I did this or is this no, I'm happy because I'm that nigga. That's why like just straight up. like that, and that's how I feel right now. It's like Rika, every time I leave the house, that is what I say to myself. I know it's kind of like a harsh affirmation, but that's what I say. I'm that nigga, dude.
Yeah, no, the only reason why you say it's harsh is because somebody who is unhealed would say that to you, but that's their projection. And as we were talking about, I no longer explain my happiness to people. I'm not doing that. If you want to come
Right.
to me and say, if you know, because I had that girl ask me, "Are you really happy single?" Da da da. And I know where that comes from. That comes from, first of all, your goal in life is to be married, right? Your value is placed in this ring, having this ring. So when you see somebody who says that they are happily single, you have no idea that that is a thing that exists. You don't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
So then you ask me and throw your projection and assumptions onto me and say that no way she can be. So let me ask her. I don't deal with women like that anymore. I used to want to save every woman. Now I only want to save the woman who says, I see that you're happy single, Rika. How did you get that? Give
Right.
me that formula.
Hey,
Like
I can only save the ones that want to be saved.
I can only, you know what I'm saying? Like this ain't Captain Save a Hole over here. I'm not wasting my time anymore with women who do not believe that you can actually arrive at a place where you are no longer seeking happiness in a man. Like what
Mm-hmm.
Will Smith said is literally what I believe, asterisks, outside of the cheating, and maybe they have an open marriage. But I believe this is God's intent for relationships. Exactly what Will Smith said here. We have to arrive at our place, a place where we know that our happiness comes from source, which is God, which is within us. And then that's what love thy neighbor as thyself comes from. That's the principle. That is the commandment. There we go. The commandment. That and we give of ourselves way too much before we even arrive at a place of loving thyself. And that is how we get into trash relationships, ghetto relationships, this um, generational curses that we continue to put on ourselves because we're continuing to have babies with people we shouldn't have babies with. We always want to talk about generational curses from slavery, from what white people put on us and whatever, but you will be somebody's fourth baby mama and then want to blame him and not take accountability on yourself and say, you know what, where
Maybe I
I
shouldn't have did
made a wise decision. Say what you just said. Go ahead.
Maybe I shouldn't have done that. You know what I'm saying?
And if you are somebody who is not DaniLeigh or Summer Walker, what do your behaviors with men show you about you? Because I'm nobody's baby mama and I had some stuff I had to uncover and work on for me to arrive at this place. So let's end on this. Okay, this is gonna be the last one. Listen to this. What does being happy with yourself, arriving at this place feel like? Because women, we in our feelings a lot. So I want you to explain what that feels like, and then I'll explain mine.
Well, for me, like happiness, like just in general, is just like you create space to love all parts of yourself. You know what I'm saying? So maybe there's things about you that you know that you don't like or that you flawed that are flawed, but you can love those parts of you too. You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't mean like, oh well, I don't like the fact that I do this sometimes, so I gotta like no. Yeah, I do that sometimes, but let me show you all these other things that I do too. And like these things that I do that I don't like, sometimes it still makes me who I am and doesn't make me a bad person. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, like my happiness is just like, yo, like good or bad, I know who I am as a person, and that's all that matters. I don't. There's this saying in this TV show, and he goes, "I don't care what other people think of me. I care about what I think of me, and that's all that matters. I care about what I think of me. I don't care what nobody else think of me. Because one, you can't whip my ass, and two, your opinion don't matter. Like,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
like, and that's another thing. That's another thing I say. I'll be like, dude, I'm gonna say what I want to say because I can fight, and can't none of y'all whip my ass. So, I don't like.
Pull up. Pull
I
up.
take joy in that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I don't care what others think of me because I care what I think of me.
Yeah.
That is
That's all that matters.
exactly what being happy single feels like. It is the unwavering knowing that I am worthy regardless of my relationship status. I have, especially for you faith-based women, you say you have faith in God so much and you want to pray Sierra's prayer so much, but you don't even have the audacity to believe that you can get what you want off top. Off top. So I'm going to get a Russell Wilson. I don't have to go through a Future. I don't.
And you
I'm
don't need no man to make you feel like you whole. You know what I'm
100%.
saying?
And I don't need a man to make me feel like I'm whole. So that way, in my behavior, showing up for myself, again, that caring what I think about myself, I bypass a lot of riffraff and nonsense now. Again, I have the audacity to believe that I can get what I want. So I no longer have to go through a Future to try to get a Russell.
Yeah.
I'm just going to have a Russell off top, or I'm just never getting married. Like, I'm just, okay. Because guess what? When I die and go to heaven, God ain't going to say, he's still going to say, my good and faithful servant. He's not going to say, you never got married, so you not coming to heaven. He's not going to say that.
Right, exactly. Right. You think the unmarried person gonna be standing in the same line as the child molester? Like, come on, man. Like, that's what he's talking about. Like,
The worst fit. Oh, you didn't get
like,
married?
if
Hell,
I gotta stand in the same line as like a murderer or rapist, me and God gonna have to have a conversation. Like, come on, man. Like, what's going on here?
Oh, okay. All right. Anything else you want to say? And
Is there anything else I want to say? Well, I'm proud of you. I love you. You're my cousin. You're my favorite cousin. You know what I'm saying? And we've like, Rika, we've always been cool, but I feel like over the past few years, we've really gotten close. You know what I'm
100%.
saying? And so I value our relationship 1000%. And so I love the journey you're on. I love the work that you do for women. You know what I'm saying? Just keep doing your thing. To all the ladies out there, listen to Rika. What she's telling you is correct. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I love you too. That is why you are on my board for my 501c3, which is You First Academy. Shout out to Dwayne.
Talk to me nice. Talk to me
Right.
nice. I'm on the board of a 501c3. Talk to me nice,
Yes.
bro.
Yes. And I agree. In the last 2-3 years, the growth of our relationship, because you grew up in California, I grew up in Seattle, so we didn't have like the childhood bond. But these last 3 years,
Right.
like again, I don't want to, I have a few favorite cousins, so I don't want to. I don't want to say. I don't want nobody to be like, so I ain't your favorite cousin no more. What's up? Like, so let me not. You know how black people are. Then I'm gonna get to stare at Thanksgiving. Really? So you say now. Okay.
It's all good. We know the truth. We know the truth.
Right. He don't even live here. Live here. Okay.
Hey, shout out to Dwayne too. Dwayne, I love you so much, man. You are a solid dude. Don't let nobody else tell you differently. I know I talk a lot of shit to you, but that's just because I like to joke around and have fun. I love you, bro.
DJ up here
So,
like
what you say?
the DJ up here like it's the Source Awards. So I want to give a
Yep.
shout out to
Shout out. Hey, like on the 5 heartbeats. Go get my new album, Flash. This one we at the top.
Right, exactly. All right. So I am going to end on this. I am going to end on this. This is a quote from my client. She graduated from Single You Academy 2 weeks ago. Her name is Nikita. I'm going to have a fuller conversation with her coming up right here on Single You, the podcast in December. She said this: Single You Academy helped me fall in love with myself by doing the work in this particular area. This has been an area of my life that caused me a lot of frustration and pain. Now I feel like I am now I feel like I can confidently say that I love myself and I can show up in that in fullness. So now let's say you are somebody who is frustrated. You've been loyal. You want a different outcome when it comes to your single life. You just don't know where to start. You want to work on yourself. You want to look in the mirror and you want to answer some very tough questions. So let's say you're interested in learning how to do the work to be happy single. In that case, I invite you to check out my website where there are testimonials, information about Single You Academy and how you can join. You can also schedule a free consultation with me to see if you and I would be working, if you and I would be great together as coach and client. So all you have to do is send me a DM, boundaries. I'll send you the link, or you can just go to singleUacademy.com. You can get all the information on Single You Academy. Okay. But my DM is always open to you. So just DM me boundaries and I'll know exactly what you're talking about. And then we can have that conversation. All right. Yep. DJ, go. You gotta make another shout out.
One last thing.
Mhm.
Can I say one last thing?
Yeah.
I just want to tell the ladies, like, look, stay committed to whatever your standards are. You know what I'm saying? With your boundaries or standards when you're out there, looking for a mate or dating or whatever. Stay committed to that. Don't let someone tell you, oh, that's why you single now, as if being single is some type of punishment or like jail time or something like that. Like, yo, if you don't want a man that doesn't have any children, or you want a man that has a certain caliber of a job or whatever, hold to that standard. Don't let someone, because they're unwilling to meet it, try to downplay it or down talk you because of it. You know what I'm saying? Stay committed to what your standards are. You know what I'm saying? And don't waver. Don't waver for nobody. No fucking body. Not even your damn parents. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Stay committed.
And not even in your loneliness. Single is not a scarlet letter. Single is not a punishment. Like, you are still whole. It doesn't matter. Married or not, you are worthy regardless of your relationship status. So thank you for that. So, all right, we are ending